There, welcome back guys. We are live. We're going to be leveling our board, the Ender 3 S1 Pro, and changing the nozzle. This video is for those guys. We're a little bit late, but that's okay. Better late than never, actually. The streaming application wasn't working. But I'm just going back on my notes and not how to change the... Oh, there we go. Mic setup 550. Okay, just checking out my sync offset. So we're going to be using two different mics here for this stream so that as I'm over there, I'll be able to give you the audio here. Now this is the DJI mic. So this is the mic that's currently being used. Hey there, welcome back guys. To test to see if the microphone works. Great, right? I can be here, over there. I'm like, hey, the mic just works great because this is a sound boom mic, audio streaming mic. Hey, Markabe, good seeing you. And everyone knows the DJI stuff is always beautiful, but doesn't work because your audio will be crap. Actually, let me go back and watch that and see what I'm saying. Great, because this is a sound boom mic. Oh yeah, nice. Audio. Okay, it's like, so this mic is sort of like an M audio interface, but everything built into this little microphone and make everything work. So while I'm over there, I'm going to be switching microphones. So when I switch the mic, Markabe, wow, you're getting... earlier with this is by request, and Markabe had asked. He's like, hey, can we have the streams a little bit earlier? And why not, right? Give the people, like FPV Unknown had said, give the people what they want, and this is what they wanted. But I'll do some streams earlier. I'm looking forward to maybe doing Friday night flights at 10 or maybe even 9. We'll see. Since they are outside, you know, I just need to be able to walk past the living room without the kids having a shit show. So now when I go over there, as I was saying, I'm going to switch the mics. So I'm going to go here into my test cam. Hold on one second. And then now I'll give you the gist of a DJI mic. So I'm going to silence this mic. Okay. The Porta Capture. It's a Tascam Porta Capture 8. And hold on one second. And now I'm going to work with the DJI mic. So you see, this is the DJI mic. So even if I have the DJI mic on, it's still low. It records low by default no matter where you connect it. That's why whenever you see someone doing an interview with someone and they have the DJI mic, they're holding it like this because the audio is better when you hold it. So when I go over there, I'll hold it and tell you what I'm doing, and then I'll go do it. Do it now. But I just want to go back here and see. I'm going to go back into YouTube and see how the audio sounds. And it's a little disappointing that something so powerful and small can have such low quality audio. Let me go back here. But I just want to go back here. Oh yeah. Wow, that's really low. And that's high. That's really high. Are you shitting me? Such low quality. Yeah, so it's just low, and in order to get high, you got to be high. And if I have it taped on, so it's going to be taped on me, not taped, but like really low, and that's high with this magnetic thing. That's really high. And again, you only get good quality audio when you talk close into it. That's why I like the other mic better. Yeah, so it's just low, and in order to get high, you got to be high. And if I have it taped on, so it's going to be taped on me, not taped, but like that's high with this magnetic. All right. Thing. Well, sorry. Let me mute that now. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, so now I'm just going to go back and open up the chat window and start the process. We're going to be leveling the Ender 3 S1 Pro, and the first thing I'm going to do when I turn on the printer, I'm going to turn it on. And the reason why I'm changing the nozzle is because I've got some, I don't know if this was from using the TPU or whatever, but I got some dark buildup under here, really gooey stuff. And on the extruder, it's sort of like cooked on there in black. Could have been from the clog. What about doing the 5? See if the sync, oh yeah, we can do the 5. 5, hold on, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5. Now I have to be quick. and see if I can see it. Hold on. Da da da. Da da da. We'll watch there be a commercial.
Ever since we introduced Shaper 3D to the company,
hold on.
5.
Oh, nice. The sync offset's good. I have my number set. So for many cams, the sync offset is 590. Different number. Every mic has a different sync offset. I have a video that shows folks how to do that. But good call, Mark Bay. And one more thing we have to do is, like Brian had suggested, pop out chat. Pop out chat, and then not top chat, but live chat. Never knew that. Interesting. Let's see, we got a little notification here. What does that say? We got some trolls. It says earlier on some of the comments, but we'll cover the trolls on Saturday Night Live Q&A. All right, so knowing that, moving forward, let's see our printer. So what you want to do is warm up your printer. Actually, if you're speaking of warm up printer, I'm going to have to set up my tripod so that you guys can actually see what's happening. So I'm going to put my phone on the iPhone stand. This is the original iPhone stand from many years ago, from when I first started the channel. I was recording, and don't get me wrong, if you don't have, like, if I didn't have the action camera, the iPhone does really good recording as long as the lighting, it doesn't have to like flex the light and adjust with the light and stuff like that. My phone's just as good. I have to, oh man, 1 second. One thing, okay, 47%. There should be plenty of battery. And I'm just going to go into my settings on my phone and put sleep to never, because we don't want this thing to fall asleep. So you're going to display and brightness, in case you're wondering, and then scroll down, auto lock to never. This way I can continuously, I'm not recording, but we're just using this as a third eye, so that you can see what's happening, because I'm going to push it to the computer. Make sure this is in video mode. Photo would be kind of cool, because then we don't have that. Oh, either way you still get a thing. Let me do photo and do 16 by 9, and maybe that'll, yeah, that looks pretty good. Less distracting. No, more distracting actually. I'll just do I'll leave I wish they could just have a camera view without all the metrics on there. All right. There. So there's that. Just give me a second. I'm going to go here to the computer, and now we have me. Okay, I'll put me there. How do I get rid of that menu though? Hold on. There's a menu right here that one of my kids activated yesterday. There we go. We got rid of that. And now I'm going to leave the desktop, but I'm going to add another window, another layer. I'm going to shrink that layer, unlock it. Hold on one moment. And, oh, that's weird. Interesting. One moment, please. That is weird. Give me a second. I'll put this one here. It should have been, I added a layer, which is fine, which is what I wanted to do, but somehow adding a layer removed the desktop, because we want to keep the desktop too. But first let's add Ender 3 S1 Pro. There we go. So you guys can see what's happening there. And now it looks like I have to add another layer, or I might have to start from scratch. We'll see if it lets me. And then now, oh, it's probably because layer upon layer, it's like a tiramisu. Hold on a second. I'm gonna do it from another window. Oh wow, interesting. That should be a video, but it's not. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. I'm gonna add a new one. This one here. See? That's the other printer though. That's the Creality. So let's leave it as me, and I'll do the setup a little bit. As you can see, it's glitching out, but that's okay. We can get this fixed. We've done this enough times. I'm just going to do here. I'm adding a desktop in case you're wondering. Mobile images, mobile camera, images, mobile services, desktop. There we go. I'm going to add the desktop that we're going to be using. So now you guys can see. You won't see me yet. So now I have one layer. It's like Photoshop or Illustrator. We definitely don't need another window there. And now I'm going to add another layer. Add new layer. Hopefully it doesn't glitch out again. There we go. That's what you want. New layer. And in this layer, we're going to add the Ender 3 S1 Pro. So we're going to go here, IP cameras, Ender 3 S1 Pro. Okay. And we'll leave this window a little bit smaller because the main window is going to be big, but you want to see me when I take the extruder off. I might come back to the computer and give you like a better view of things. And then now the chat's going to be in a different window because we're going to be taking shit apart. So the chat's going to be a little bit smaller and we may not be replying in time, but we'll chime in to people. We won't leave you hanging, but we may not get to you in time. And then now, make sure reflector is launched here. Let's see. Oops. Where's my search? Oh, there it is, reflector. There we go. It's probably going to go there first, but we'll see. So now, whoops. We will go here. Mirroring. Voila. To some extent. Now I'm going to bring reflector into this window. See? To some extent because it should auto orient, but it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to force landscape, I think right? I forget. Yep. Force landscape right. So we'll move, since we don't need, we don't need the frame of the phone, the outside, so we can slide this over. And that gives us more room for other stuff. See, we can leave that there. We can slide this over. That's pretty much, you know, even though it looks like it's cut off, it's not because look. See, that's the edge, edge to edge. And then now we can add another layer if it lets us. It might glitch out. Remember before it gave us black screen. But if it does, add layer. There we go. And in this layer, we're going to add camera 2, which would be me. You'll see me when I come back to the seats. Add Osmo. I think it's Pro. I don't know. I have 2, so it's hard. Yeah, so it's Pro. 2 is stuff. I used to label them, but it's hard to now because it just the app glitches out and can't focus on it. So now we'll put me there. Okay. And then I'm gonna go back into this window. So this one might look a little funky, but we need to add another layer. Actually, you know what? I'm going to delete this one and then start fresh again. So now I'm going to add a new layer here because this was originally supposed to be desktop and it glitched out. So now we got our desktop back, and this will be for desktop only though, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another layer, a new layer here, and this will be like the way things used to be. All right. And then go here. Now we're here. And then we'll go here and we're just going to add camera one. Voila. And then, but the one we're going to use for today's show is number 7. Nope, not number 7. Number 11? Yeah, number 11. Okay. So I'm going to set this camera up on the other side so that we can see. Turn on the light so it's going to look different. There we go. So that's the new head, the new nozzle. I got to get rid of this beam, but sometimes my kids hang out in here which I don't mind, but since they're in school right now and we're doing a show, because they say it's quiet in here. It used to look like the backdrop to the movie Saw. It was so creepy. They were afraid to come in. And now they're like, I come in and shit's moved around and I'm like, oh, cool. And they came in here the other day and like, your room's really cool now, Dad. We love it. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So there we go. This is the replacement nozzle. It's fresh. It's clean. As you can see, it's brand new compared to the other one that was here, which is like really goopy. It's a little tight in here, so I might take off my sweater in a bit. We'll see. But it's still a little chilly. And as you can, I'm going to take the old nozzle out. And what you want to do is, right, you want to heat up the nozzle extruder so that you can remove the old filament. Okay, so now I'm going to heat it up and just get rid of the old stuff. And so what you want to do is go here on your, let me just see if I can, that brings us up and down. We'll do that like that. And I think this one allows us to see there. See, we can see there. And then now, just make sure, yep, that's a good eye. So what you do is you go here, you go to ready. You might bring it back home. If it does, you want to make sure your stuff is off the board because sometimes the extruder is going to come down. It should bring it back home. So now we're going to let it come back home so that we can change the settings and bring the, we got to take the filament out. So you could cut it, but cutting it isn't going to cut the mustard. So we'll leave that there like that. Extruder's coming back to its original state. And once it does that, you know, the fun will begin. We're going to use the, I thought I had one. Should have been here, but I have extra ones. If you don't have, interesting. Must have fallen or something. I have here though, but looks like I'll have to get more. See, the filament sensor tool, really great. It's what you use to level the board. It's thinner than paper, literally. Look at that. It's so thin, thinner than a sheet of paper. It's film, and it's, hold on. It's 0.1 thick, 1/0 thickness, and it goes under when you level your board. But we'll get to that. We're not even there yet. So, and then we're gonna need one of these tools, I believe. Forget which one, because you got two different sizes. I believe it's the other one, this one. And this one. You're gonna need one of these. This printer comes with a drawer. I like it. This is a great printer. They call it the Beast because it can handle a lot. It's been through a lot, and it's not like the newer printers where you just press a button and it does everything for you. You really have to tweak this. So now we're going to go here. You go into settings and see where it says in and out, not the burger place. So we want it to come out. I usually put 25, and then I go back home, and then you can watch the temperature go up. So the temperature's at 30. It needs to reach 200 in order to remove everything, okay? So now, once it reaches 200, I'll show you what to do next. You can zoom in like that. There. So once the temperature is ideal, right now it's at 125. 125 could actually work too. I'm just gonna check the chats every now and again while that's heating up. Cooking. Hey, Marco Bay. Marco Bay is overseas. Marco Bay is abroad overseas. You get it? He's in the UK. We got a lot of subscribers overseas that come in, and we have Brian from Florida who might chime in later. He's usually here later in the evenings and sometimes during the day. He might be out flying his drone. He just got his new drone, which is just phenomenal. You know what it's like when you get a new drone, which is great because it gets you outside. Like, you want to be outside when the weather is nice. especially if you're in Florida. But I'm not sure how it's working out with the humidity out there. He got the flip. You know, if you want a drone where you can use to travel and go places without, you know, what do they call it? The flip is just a great travel companion. Like, you can take it with you, go places, and it's not like the Mavic, which is a big, bulky thing, and you kind of have to finagle it so that things just work right for you. With that drone, basically you're doing a lot of bagging on bagging, bagging on bagging. But with the Brian's drone, got so many boxes, you can pack it away, and you can be driving down the road and be like, oh my god, that'd be a cool place for a drone shot. Except if you do that, you gotta make sure, so now it's ready, you gotta make sure that there isn't a drone ordinance in the town that you're flying in. In the beginning, I didn't know that. I'd be like, oh, that'd be a cool place to fly your drone. So then we just pull it out. And after you pull it out, you cut it at a nice angle. You see? And after it's cut at a cool angle, you can ring it back. Just wind it back. And in case you're wondering where it's going back, it's going back up there. See? Just wind it back. You can leave it here. I got 2 filament sensor things there. That's, I think it was it PET G? Or TPU? No, TPU. TPU is expensive. They only give it to you in small amounts. It's like liquid gold. All right, so now that that's done, then what you're going to do is you're going to go here, go to ready. You want the extruder to go back home, because that's the only way we're going to be able to take it off with this thing. Now remember, it's hot, okay? See, and then what happens is it goes back home, and now it's in this position that can be taken off. See, you can just finagle it so that things just work right for you when you put this under there. Now remember, it's hot, so you're gonna have to take off this thing, this silicone thing. You're gonna have to take that off, and once you take that off, it should start cooling down a little bit, but just know that if you touch it, you could shut it off if you like and then turn it on. But what we're going to do is, will it let us pull it out? No, it won't. All right, so before we start pulling it out, we're going to have to unscrew it, okay? So we need an Allen key wrench, which I believe is this one. Yeah, got lucky there. So you just unscrew these little things right here, these little screws, because now we got to take it off. And you could do this, let's say, undo that like that. See? Because remember, we don't have a clog, so we can take this off, and then somehow take it off so that it doesn't. But it's stuck in these little things. See? Voila. Take it up, but you have to. It's like on this little tape thingy. So now that we took that off, right? Now we can unscrew it because we took it out of its connector thingy, but it has a little thing over there. Because we're gonna put it on the bed, or I'll take it off and show you guys. And there are a total of 5 screws like this, 5 like that. So we got 1, and put them wherever, but you could actually put them in the drawer. There's a little drawer here. Then you'll never lose them, especially if you have a carpet, or not even a carpet. If I drop one of these on the floor and it goes straight down the sump pump, good luck with that. So if you have this printer, just open the drawer, okay? Just move these boots out of the way for the props. There we go. So I'm just gonna move this in a little bit, zoom in a little, see, right about there. And we're gonna be taking off those screws. So can't fast forward it because this is being done live. I kind of miss this too. With the Creality High, it is a hands-off system. Hands-off meaning you're not going to be doing this. The printer does it itself. And if it don't work and you get an X on it, you're sending it back to Creality. Or they'll probably tell you to, I don't know what they're going to tell you to do, but in the future, no one will know how to fix anything. This will be like a interesting video for people to watch. Like, you see that video on that guy? He took apart this 3D printer. That was so cool, right? Literally, because the way printers are going right now, hands off. This is ancient stuff. You mean you have to fix it? See, look, so you'll get an error like this: AB temp abnormal, nozzle temp abnormal, platform temp. It can't read any temperatures because, remember, we just took off the connector. Okay? So don't be nervous. It's fine. So now that we got this off, which is really cool, we can leave stuff like that or clear it in case the bed starts moving. I don't know. So now, I believe you can see, voila, take it off. And this is it right here. This is, and remember, it could still be hot. But as you can see, the reason why I want to change it is because it's kind of corroded in there. And I don't know how that happened. It could have been a clog. I think there was a clog the last time, remember, on one of our prints, and it made that zzz sound, and everything was stuck on there. And you want to keep this clean, and so this is here. All these parts are reusable. So if you order a new one, you have to put it together a certain way. We're not there yet. Ah, that is hot. Okay, yeah, it's hot. Be careful. Just checking it, looking for damages. I'll do like a slow 360, but it is hot, so but it's still cooling down. You'll be using that. I'm not sure which parts comes off because I haven't really done this, and I'm not looking forward to it when I do. But I do have one in my shopping cart, in the Amazon shopping cart, one day. I just want to have a look at it though myself too. Okay, so you have the screws there, fan. I'm not sure what that one is. I'm just looking. Wow, this whole thing comes apart. I wish they sold it like this though, but they don't. Like if you look on the Amazon, it's, you have to basically rebuild it of some sort. Oh, spam. Ah, hate when that happens. Call that number back. Tell them, leave me alone. So it's not this one, it's the other one. I've been getting a lot of spam calls lately. Part of the data leak breach. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take this. I believe it's that side, or it could be this side too. It could be either or, whichever way your hands work. So that way, I like this way better. And then what you do is you just turn it. Ah, be careful, that hurt, because you have stuff down here that your hand will hit. So it's better to do it from up and down. And then what you do is flip it over, right? And then keep turning it until it falls out. Okay? Keep turning it, because it'll catch right into here. Now remember, it's hot. Don't catch it with your hands. That's why you want to do it this way or the other way if you know how. See all that goop in there? So we're just gonna clean it off a bit with some alcohol. I got a little brush here, a little bristle brush. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so that you guys can see. See how you can just bristle out, just getting the tar stuff off, whatever's burnt on there, and then use that if you can touch it. Now I'm going to use some rubbing alcohol. I'll let you guys look at that. Oh look, you've got a lot of buildup in there. That's the fan, but I don't recommend touching it with the bristle brush. Maybe a regular toothbrush. If you've ever been to the dentist, when they give you a toothbrush, I think I have one, but before I get the toothbrush, I need some rubbing alcohol, so that I can clean the outside of the extruder. Oh, maybe even a paintbrush, right? Paintbrush could work. I know I had a toothbrush somewhere. I wish other than those things, but here, let's see. So first I'm going to take a washcloth like this and wet it with some alcohol. This is the one right here. I use this on the board too. So now what we'll do is just wipe it, clean off all that. I have one of these too, replaceable. There's usually a cover on here, but and then just use the paintbrush to try and get the blemish. Now don't take off what's caked on there. There's like some special paste in there. Only take off that charred black stuff. That burnt from before. Well, it looks like it really did get in there. Could have been like a, could be from, I'm not sure from what though. But we're getting it all. And it cooled off too. Yeah, it really took a beating from its last. There we go. Then we just take the rubbing alcohol and then clean it all. See? I don't know what that is, but definitely don't. You don't want any remnants of any old crap on there, other than whatever needs to be there. You know. I've taken this whole thing apart before when I had a clog. There's another video on that. I might leave it in the link in the description. See, now it's cleaner. The only issue we have now is all that dust in there. See all that? It's like literally. Look at that. You could use it. I would probably recommend using the tweezers, but definitely clean it out. See that? So I'm gonna have to do this at the table because I really want to get all that out of there. Okay. So on that note, now we're back here. But what I want to do is use my other things because I really want to clean that out. So clean out your fan too. I would suggest cleaning it out whenever it needs to be. In this case, it needs to be. It's been 2 years, so possibly, you know, you don't want the buildup. You know, anything that will enhance the performance. The other fan is fine. But enhance the performance. Wow, it's like cotton candy. All your stringing stuff. Wow. Oh my God. Literally. So much. How do you guys clean your fan? This is going to take a little bit, but I will definitely show you guys all the buildup. Wow. Because the fan is in 4 sections, so I'm going to have to do all 4 edges of it. Yeah, it's going to take a bit. That's okay. That's right, we're here. That's why we're doing it live. Ken's going to be stopping by later. No reaction. I wonder if this whole thing comes off. Looks like it does. Oh, sort of. Yeah, not without taking the whole thing apart. Wow. always wondered. We got all this buildup in here. Like a big lint machine. Maybe tape. Nah, maybe. How would you guys do this? How would you get out this cotton candy-like substance from your fan? Your fanny power. Literally. I never saw this before. Never. Oh man. Big buildup. I wonder what happens if you don't do it. Like, I wonder what the inside, if I took the print bed apart, what would it look like inside of there? You guys ever take yours apart from the inside? Please do share. Like, how dusty is it in there? If this is what we got in here. Literally. So much. Wow. So much. I'm gonna have to get some painter's tape so we can keep track of all this buildup in here. Thankfully, the other side fan has nothing. Nothing, no buildup on it. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Which is good. We got that. We got that. We got that. And I'll share with you guys. See? All that. And there's more. There's like maybe 5 times that. A little bit of a bummer because I was just hoping to change the nozzle, but then I saw all this cake buildup in there. This lint. It's not dusty in here either. It's just, I guess, an accumulation of what's in the air. Wonder if I could... Give me a second. If I remove that screw, that screw. Looks like the fan's replaceable too. It's okay, we'll do it this way, and then another time we'll take it apart another way. Wow. So linty. There we go. Look at that. Oops. Is that coming in? We still got maybe, I don't know, double that. What do people do? Replace the fan or clean it out? I guess if I'm in a small village, right, I'm probably going to clean it out. But if I'm in the city, I'm going to go to Amazon. Might be able to get a Q-tip after this and dip it in alcohol. Break it though. Break the Q-tip, right? And then just turn it around in there. Wow. It's like never been cleaned before. But definitely better than what it was. Some of it won't come out because it's caked in there. Remember, preventative is always cheaper than damage control. Well, I got some stuff caked on there though. I'm gonna have to take the extruder apart a little bit, not a lot though. I've done that before, just to take off the black stuff that's caked on, or put a new one on. Yeah, it's fine. This one's still good. We'll just clean it. We'll give it a second life. Wow, that's a big one. Looks like you could take it apart, but I don't need to. I don't want to. One more thing. Looks like that comes off, and then the other ones come off. And we could try that, right? Yeah. Not a bad idea. Yeah, why not? Looks like the cover comes off though. Let's see. Oh, nice. Oh no, that's a big one. I see a big one in there. Doing what I just did. Caught a big one to get loose. Got it. You're probably like, wait, what? Got a big one. Look at that one. Well, that's like jammed in there. We'll get it. Damn, another one. I thought this was going to be a quick one, be in and out. Change the nozzle. Nope. Here. There's probably double that in here. Just gotta keep it clean, and then to the point where I'm thinking of just taking this thing apart. And I have to take, oh, I have to take some of it apart though. One of the issues, if you have a clog, there's no clog, is that it has to be hot to remove this part right there, because sometimes there's filament stuck in there. I'm hoping that there isn't, because if there is, looks like I'm missing a key. If there is, then it's gonna, I won't be able to take it off, but I can clean it aesthetically from the outside. I don't think there's a key on the extruder part. You have to have an Allen key set if you want to remove the other one. I'll show you which one. I believe a smaller one. Yeah, they don't include one. If they did, I don't have it. So now it's just a matter of finagling it, finding the size. And once you do, you'll just pull them out. Not as strong, but should do the trick. It's the smallest one. So this one's too big. Hopefully I have it. I remember if you go back and watch my how to unclog the extruder. I believe this was the one I was using. Yep. Yeah, oh wow, it's really goopy in there. Interesting. Is this the one? Let's try another one. Wow, how small can you go? Let's try the smaller one. This is a good one. No, it's not. Yeah. Not you. Definitely you, but it's not really going in. Oh, mine is a little bit stripped. Bummer. Let's try one of these hex keys. Not you. Maybe you. Oh yeah, that's working. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll change the head here. My Allen key isn't working. And then we'll put this in there. Oh, I hate when that happens. Whoa. It's weird how this one's not working. Screwdriver's glitching out. Okay. There we are. Now we should go back. Wow, yeah, it's got a lot of tar buildup. And you don't want that. You don't want stuff cooking on your extruder that shouldn't be cooking. Or stuff that's already cooked on there, right? That doesn't need to be cooked again. And thankfully we're able to get in there. And we'll be able to clean it. And thankfully, I don't have to replace this part. You will eventually. You'll know when. But it's not happening today. And then this comes out, right? If you ever wonder what's in here. This is where your cloth, this may or may not come off. And if it doesn't come off, it's because there's a screw right there. And that one uses another Allen key wrench, which is probably one you will have. Definitely not that one. Probably one of the default keys. Yep, this one. And then what you do is you unscrew this just to the right amount, because you don't want to take it all the way out. And now you can look inside. See, it pops right out. Now, if you have a clog, it's not popping out. And you might have to reheat it to put it back in. But nice, it's clear in there, which is awesome. Nice and clear. We can get a lot of the, oh wow, see how it's like burnt over there on the inside? So we can get a little bit of that off. That's probably from a previous clog that happened, which was why stuff was caking on there. We could use, we can get it off with some stuff. You know, I mean, at this point you could replace this whole piece right here. That's hot glued. We have a hot glue gun. I do have the part, but I just don't feel like I need to replace it. If you don't need to and you don't, just clean it. One less thing you have to buy. All right, knowing that, moving forward, let's get some cleaning stuff. So we're gonna have to get, we have the tweezers, right? See, and this is like in there. See the burnt in there? It wasn't there before. So, and a chip, it peels right. See, it's coming off. Yeah, so we want to take out the crust. Just the crust, just whatever's burnt. No need to, damage it. Whatever flakes off, basically. If it flakes off, it's coming off. If it don't force it. Oh, wow. No need to force it. Shit's coming right off. Wow. I know I smelled something. Remember the last time I was here, I was smelling something. I was like, what's that smell? Like it smelled like something was burning. If you saw one of my live streams. And I was like, well, I have a smoke detector. I've got this and that. But I couldn't pinpoint what was cooking. The extruder was cooking. Yeah, we're definitely going to use some. Wow, look at all that char coming off. I got to find a Q-tip. I have some here. If I not, I'm just going to go upstairs and get some. I'll be back. I'll leave my mic here. What are you guys doing here? What's happening upstairs in the conference call? Alright, we're back. Where's the mic? Mickey. There we go. Put the mic back on. I got the Q-tips. Wow, it's so charred in there though. You see all that black? All this right here. I'll show you. I'll take a piece of tape, lift some of it up because I don't want to cross-contaminate my stuff. So that's the stuff that's coming off, the burnt stuff, but also that stuff is all over here on the screws. So we're going to clean off the screws. So it turned out to be a bigger job than expected. I was like, oh, I'll be out in an hour. I'm going to go out, got my day off, and turns out not happening today. Oh, I need the alcohol. That's okay though. You guys can learn a lot. We make these videos so you don't have to. So when you see that 5-minute video, we're not the 5-minute video. And you see my emails, people emailing me, asking me, they like my long form content. They say, we like your long videos. One woman actually stalked me down today because she wants me to promote something in one of my long videos. So there's people like long. So when you see that 5-minute video that says we did it, there's no way they did it in 5 minutes. Oh wow, the alcohol is really working. This is about as long as it takes to. So we just take you through the process, you know. And we are part of the process. So, oh yeah, it's being cleaned. Wow, it's really working. It's shiny again. Again, you could just replace this, literally. Look how black. And with like it's charry too. There's like oh, sorry, wrong side. Yeah, the like the flakes, charcoal flakes. We don't want charcoal on there. All right, we got one part. Oh, yeah, one part really. Hardest part is getting in there. Today is recycling day. Almost missed it. It's like, damn it. That ever happened to you? You miss recycling? And then you gotta like wait a whole other week before it comes back again. And you have to hold on to it. Don't let go of your stuff. One time I drove to another town, to their recycling center. I don't dump, like, you know, I don't believe in dumping on the side of the road. So I went to another recycling center, and they're like, "Are you new here?" I'm like, "Yeah. I'm Caleb, my friend Caleb, who lives in the next town. He just tell them you're from my house." I was like, "Yeah, I'm helping Caleb with this garbage." And I'm like, "Oh, okay," which was true at the time, because he used to live down the street, and then he moved. And then now they went back to, where did they go back? To Australia. But they rent out their house. No. It was a bummer. He lived down the street, and his wife worked for BMW in New Jersey, or Cooper, whatever it's called. And right when they got settled in, she got transferred. I think they moved back to Australia because also I think university was free there. Like, they didn't have to pay for the kids to go to college or something like that. I forget how it worked, but Alexa, is university free in Australia?
From Shiksha.com. Deakin University and Central Queensland University are the most affordable universities in Australia, as they do not require any tuition fee.
Yeah, imagine that, no tuition fee. That's why they went back. And then one of their other kids stayed here and sort of became an emancipated minor. Kind of messed up that you have to do that. Like, shit, what are we going to do? I don't know. I got 2 kids. Hopefully one of them gets a scholarship. Otherwise, we're moving to Australia. Caleb, my friend, we're coming home. He'd be like, home? What do you mean home? He's like, you're from, I was actually born in New York, but I saw ice standing outside my door at work the other day. I'm like, they're not here for me. But if they were, I could use a little holiday vacation. I wouldn't mind taking a little break. Remember that movie with Jim Carrey when he got deported? You know, he's like, no. And then he tried to make his way back home. Yeah, that would be me. I remember after 9/11, I used to get profiled a lot. And they'd be like, I'll be at the airport, and they'd be like, sir, please come with us. I'm like, well, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm like, sir, please. And then they come, and then they call me to the side, and then they would, can we see some ID, please? I'm like, yeah, sure, here you go. And then they look at my license, and then they say, oh, Luis, oh, I'm sorry. And then they're like, mira, ¿qué pasa? Mira, something in Spanish. And I'd be like, what? And then they're like, whoa. And then they take a second look, and they'd be like, wait, you don't speak Spanish, and your name's Luis? I'm like, yeah, why not? So, yeah, that was my experience, because I had a name like Luis, and I looked like the guy who did it, you know. Except now I don't, you know, I feel, I'm like, oh, I have a high-five moment when I see someone and they know that, you know, I have some Spanish in me. But sometimes I go to the kiosk in the subway in New York City, and the guy would be like, my friend, Punjabi, right? And I'm like, no, sorry. Seek? No, I seek the candy you sell. That's it. You know? Yeah, ambiguous features. Oh, speaking of ambiguous features, one time, there was a lot of goop in here. My wife was on this forum group, and hold on, I wonder if that comes off. And they were like, looking for someone with ambiguous features, must have hair. And she said, oh my God, that's you. I'm like, for what? It was for Johnson & Johnson's commercial for their baby products. And I went in. I was like, all right, I'll do it. Fine, whatever. And, you know, the cash must be good. I went in, and see, now all the goop is off. Now it's clean. It's so clean. Now we just use a or airbrush or can of air to get, you know, the remnants of the cotton out. Yeah, now it's clean. Now we've given it a second life, basically. Now we're gonna push it in. See, push it in. It's all clean. We got all the goop out, etc. If you can do this. Oh, except now we can't put the screws in because the screws are corroded with some charred stuff from the previous, whatever you call it. Anyway, so he's like, no hair, must have ambiguous features. Ambiguous just means that you could be anybody. You could be the guy that, oh wow, this stuff is really cake. Maybe WD-40. This stuff is really charred on there. Oh nice, or just your fingers. I'll show you guys. So that's the char that I was smelling on that live stream, but I could not pinpoint it. You could probably use the steel brush. Definitely the steel brush. Still got more. So I was like, yeah, I got this. Because when I went in for the, what is it? Not interview, audition. There were a lot of other dads there too. Lots of dads. And it said, must have twins. And I was like, oh my God, that's me. And then when I saw the other dads there, it said must have twins and must have hair. Now, there must have been at least 20 guys there. Apparently, I guess when you have kids, you lose your hair. I haven't yet, though, but I will probably one day. And when I went in, I saw all the other dads there. None of them had hair. And I was like, oh my God, I so got this. This is my first time on TV. It wasn't like I was aspiring. I like the voice acting better because you never had to make a stage appearance. I'm not really a stage person. So, I was like, that's so cool. And so I did it because the money was good. So we took, we did the commercial. The one thing I learned was that Hollywood will chew you up and spit you out. That was my experience. So the experience we had was, I did the commercial. I'll show you guys a clip of the commercial. Still have it. It's like, when I do bath time with Tilly and Ivy, it's our special time together. Anybody who tells you bath time with their kids is special is lying. Definitely lying, because when you have little kids, it's a freaking nightmare. Literally, they're crying, they're screaming, like no, like a cat, not wanting to get wet. Now, as you see, we got all the corrosion off, and it was a nightmare. Like literally, they were crying, and the reason why they wanted twins is because there's a certain amount of time a kid can be on the set according to union. We were not union, but everyone, like the lighting guy was union, the makeup girl was union. Everyone was union except for us. Got one screw, and so everyone was union. So there were regulations on how long a child can be on a set, and so the reason why you probably see these movies and stuff where there are twins is because it's convenient for them. Not because like, oh, we love twins, we want twins in the show, but sometimes because of the fact there are restrictions to how long a kid, can be on, or let's say a younger kid, can be on TV. But if you have a twin, then you swap, right? And now you're not breaking any rules and regulations, that the union requires. I remember them saying to us, oh, we got to take lunch because the union doesn't, oh, we can't have them on the set because the union doesn't allow it. And I'm like, all right. So they treated us like gold royalty. They send these Escalades for us, these giant Escalades like you see in TV in the spy movies. And they gave us lunch, like, what would you like to eat? And I was like, wow, this is great. And we love it. We were loving it. We were milking it. Like, I'll have this sandwich. Like, whatever we wanted. We were like royalty. Literally. And then when it came time to I was like, they kept promising the contract. Like, oh, the contract's coming. Don't worry, it'll be here. I didn't know, like, you need, everything in contract. If you ever get a deal for a commercial, make sure there's a contract. No contract, no deal. Actually, in the end, the contract was in some sort of acronym in the check. And once you cashed it, you sort of like became bound to the contract. But that's a different story. And yeah, so that they're sly that way. The people they trust me, they will rape you if they can. And they did. And then the contract never showed up. We were promised the world, and what did we know? It was our first time, and we didn't have any experience in this. And so, we got treated like royalty, because they remember Johnson & Johnson, billion-dollar company. They've got the budget. They're not poor. And so then what did they do? Hold on, let me just wet this tip thing to get more of the excess stuff off. We have to do a retake on something towards the end. I have to do some voiceover work on my own commercial for the child. And so after doing the retake, and on the last day was where the magic happened. On the last day, that's when we got thrown out to the curb. On the last day, they knew it was the last day. There was no Ford Escalade waiting for us. They called us. There was a little Toyota. I hardly fit in it. They wished us luck, farewell, and if you're going to get star treatment, you want your star treatment to be from beginning to end. Lunch was not whatever we wanted. We got no longer like the 5-star luxury lunch. We got it was like bag lunch. They bagged it for us. I was like, wow, this is the reality. It's like slowly transitioning back into the real world, slowly getting dumped onto the curb. Like literally, we got dumped on the curb. Like when it came time to leave our little Toyota, that I hardly fit in. It was a 4-door Toyota Corolla. I kid you not. We went from the Ford Escalades with the room in the back and SUV style Hollywood, and then all of a sudden I was like, what the fuck? Where's our car? It's like, your car is downstairs. And we were like flippant, you know, the fact that once they were done, once they said, okay, that's a wrap, and it really is a wrap, like that's it. Then they're like, okay, we'll call you. We'll call you if we need you. Great job, guys. Really wonderful. You're wonderful. Your girls are a doll. Oh, we loved it. And then, you know, that's it's all fake. And then then it came me. I was just like, when are we getting paid? When are we getting paid? It's like, it's in the contract. Where's the contract? The contract's coming. Meanwhile, like 3 days into the shoot, contract's still coming. Contract never showed up. And then in the end, I'm like, when do we get paid? It's like, it's in the contract. And then it turns out the contract was in the check. I still have a copy of that check, because when they told me the contract's in the check, and then I'm like, what do you mean the contract's in the check? I should like look at the check, and then I look at the check, and it's an acronym of some sort. I don't recall what the acronym means. And then they're like, well, the acronym is the kind of contract it is. And so knowing that and moving forward, because we cashed the check, right, we agreed to the contract, which was never given to us on site, because they said it was on its way and it's coming. It never came and never showed up. And so, well, point being on that, we cashed the check, meaning we agreed to the contract, and then like a year later, my friends in Europe, I think they were, my friend Mark, came to me, and he's like, hey, we saw you on Netflix. I didn't even know Netflix was doing commercials. And I'm like, what do you mean you saw me? Yeah, we were watching TV and we saw your commercial. I was like, what? Where? Like, it's all over Europe. I'm like, what? And like, they're like, yeah. And they saw me on Hulu. They saw me on like all these, it was everything that was streamed, all your streaming stuff. They aired it. So they basically put the commercial on worldwide distribution, and they paid us for local. Meanwhile, we could have been making money on the royalties. So like I said, there, you know, a lot of these agencies, they will rape you blind, rob you blind, literally. And that was our first and last experience with Hollywood. Yeah, it's kind of messed up. So you'll be promised the world. They will give you the world, but when they're done with you, they're done. They chew you up and spit you out. It's kind of messed up, though. But the food was great. Food was awesome, and we got free baby shampoo, free shampoo, and we got to learn what it was like to be promised the world and be thrown onto the side of the curb once they're done with you. And also, if you do ever, let's say, if you ever get offered a deal, make sure you have the rights and distribution, and make sure when they say distribution, it's whether it's local, worldwide, international, covered. Like basically, that commercial was shown all over the world, Australia, even in Australia. Even in Europe, literally. I mean, I was like this. They're like, "Hey, you're the guy from the commercial." I'm like, what? What are you talking about? They're like, "Hello, Mr. Lewis." You know, like people walking up to me with an accent. I'm like, what? I'm like, damn it! If only I had known. You know, if I had a union, if I was union, they saw you coming a mile away, and that's why when. You don't have to be union, right, to work in certain fields. And once they find out that you're not union, they can take advantage of that. And they will take advantage of that. But if you are union, you get treated like royalty from beginning to end. There's no like Toyota Corolla waiting for you in front of the building, and you know, to that extent where you're basically should have just taken the bus. See, look, we cleaned it up. This one's a hard one to clean. Got a lot of cake and oh, was that 1 or 2? I think I got 1. Yeah. So that's my beginning rags to riches story. I was on TV once. I was like, I was the one from that commercial. I did the shampoo commercial. I remember the day when I did a shampoo commercial for baby food or something like that. There was like a funny movie like that. Let me see if I can find the commercial. I'll show you. Market Bay might get a kick out of it. It's like, when I do bath time with Tilly and Ivy, it's our special time together. Nope, it's a lie. Bath time was a nightmare. Remember, paid actor. paid sponsorship. I think it's in Dropbox because I don't have it. Let me see if I can find it on my computer. Watch it get blacklisted. Not blacklisted, shadow banned. But that one I would contest to YouTube. I'd be like, that's my commercial. I was in it. Hold on 1 second. It's probably on a drive. Anyway, I'll log into Dropbox so I know it's there. Dropbox login. Continue. Whoops. Upgrade. Whose box is this? Oh, that's mine. Okay, hold on a second. And the same thing works for YouTube too. If you ever get a deal with YouTube, make sure that. Oh, that's a voiceover. Hold on. I think it's under Johnson. Nice, Johnson & Johnson. Sweet. I got 2 commercials. Let me download them. Hopefully I don't have to upgrade because I haven't used this in a while. Like Dropbox will hold your stuff ransom if you don't pay the membership fees. I guess not. I was able to download it. Here we go. Yay. There we go. Sweet. All right, here, I'll let you guys have a peek. Let's see. Let me just close this. Close that. Close that. I don't know what else is in there. And then I'll open it. Go here and put that there. All right, here. This is a commercial. Here. It's only 28 seconds long. Wait, hold on.
After a long day away from Tilly,
Wait.
Getting her ready for bed has become our special time together.
Wait, hold on. I already know what it sounds like, but I wanna, so it doesn't echo. No one should hear the echo. Let me go here, MacBook Pro speakers, and bring this back, bring the volume up, and bring it up, and there you go. Enjoy. It's our special time together. It's a freaking nightmare bath time. Ah! But it's a commercial. It's what you get paid to do. All right, hold on. Ah, you're killing me. Now it's not loading. Hold on. It's a QuickTime thing. QuickTime is glitchy. It hasn't been working for a lot of people on the Mac.
After a long day away.
Wait, hold on. Because output is not multi-output. Output should be there. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if it's not, then the audio, will echo for you guys. Here.
Getting her ready for bed has become our special time together.
Oh, where we go again.
We start
Again! Okay, let's see.
After a long day away from Tilly, getting her ready for bed has become our special time together. We start with making the most of bath time, soaking up the scents and sounds. Then we continue with a gentle massage, and finish with a quiet activity before bed. Since we've been doing this 3-step routine, Tilly falls asleep faster and sleeps longer.
And then we have, that's
After a long
probably
day
like
with
the
Tilly-
European slot, and then there was like an American slot, and then different music,
After a long day away from Tilly, getting her ready for bed has
And then
become
different
our special
baby
time
use.
together.
and then
We start with making the most of bath time, soaking up the scents and sounds.
I think that was Steve's apartment,
Then
is
we
what it's
continue
called,
with
the
a
studio,
gentle massage,
fake
and finish with a quiet
fake
activity
apartment, but they
before
call
bed.
it Steve's.
Since we've been doing
Paid
this 3-step
thousands of
routine,
dollars to rent it for
Tilly
the
falls
day.
asleep faster
Not me, them.
and
I think I
sleeps
still have that
longer.
watch. I gave that watch to Tilly. Yeah, we got a lifetime supply of baby shampoo. Oh wait, I don't think you could see it. Hold on a second. Oh, you couldn't see it. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, we have a lifetime supply of shampoo. All right, so here's a slot right here.
After a long day away from Tilly, getting her ready for bed has become our special time together. We start with making the most of bath time, soaking up the scents and sounds. Then we continue with a gentle massage, and finish with a quiet activity before bed.
That's just to sell
Since
the
we've
product.
been doing this 3-step routine, Tilly
Kids don't
falls
want to be
asleep
touched
faster
during bath time.
and sleeps longer.
If they do, they don't want to get out. And there's a lie, because if you have kids or had kids, when you bathe them, that water does not stay in the tub. That freaking water goes everywhere, and you got your neighbors calling you and reporting you to management because there's a leak in the bathroom. There's no special
After a
time
long day
about
away
bath
from
time.
Tilly,
This is the other
getting her ready
commercial.
for bed has become
Yeah,
our special time
literally,
together.
it's a mess. And
We
they
start
usually
with
don't go
making
into the
most
tub.
of
They
bath
sit
time,
like the baby
soaking
thing.
up the scents
like
and
when
sounds.
they,
Then we continue
and they
with
were
a
that's
gentle
and that's why
massage
they swapped
and
them.
finish with
We
a
had to
quiet
swap them
activity
because the kids
before
were like
bed.
not having it. They didn't want
Since
that.
we've
They were
been
like,
doing
no.
this 3-step routine,
They were
Tilly
screaming.
falls asleep
I think it's look in
faster
her eyes. You could see
and
like
sleeps
there were some
longer.
tears there, but yeah. So that's Hollywood, and I feel like the guy in Zoolander. Aren't you the guy from the hand commercial? Yeah. So that's that. It was fun, but I learned a lot. I learned like a lot when it comes to the shit that happens behind the scenes. Oh, interesting. That's good to know. Dave, good to see you, Dave. Dave, it's been a while. Let's see. I know I have to go here. Maybe. The vacuum. Thanks, Dave. Good thing I'm reading this now because I do have a vacuum or get a vacuum. Air duster. I have an air duster. Okay. It's filament strings. Oh, it's filament strings. Look at this though. Look how much filament strings I got in there. Like a lot. Stringy prints equal clogged fan. I never knew that. But it's good to see Dave again. It's been a while. Hopefully all is well and better with you. Lou, best way would be soft brush and vacuum. Okay. You may want to heat up the block first before removing screws. Be careful. Yeah, when there's a clog, you have to. Thankfully, I was able to put the screws back on because sometimes Mark Bay is right. And I wasn't sure if I was going to have to do that or not. On my clog, I had to. If you have a clog, 100%. But I wasn't sure if there was going to be a clog in there, but there was like a semi-remnants of a clog. On some printers, they tell you to heat the nozzle up before removing the... Yes, they do. And I did that in my... hold on. In another video. And I'll leave that in the description. Yes, you guys are 100% right on that. And... if you're not sure, I'd highly recommend it. It's just hard working with a hot extruder. Hold on. I'll put clog in, C-L-O-G. And then, yeah, so I have one video you guys can watch. The 3D printer clog.
Video for your business?
It's really
Find
cool
me
if you
and
like
many
watching
other
that kind of stuff. But you guys are on the money. Except, let me see. Totally right. But now, one thing I totally, I do have a vacuum. I don't know if this vacuum's strong enough though. Let me get the attachment for this. Hold on a second. So I got to get an attachment for this. I might disappear for a second. Hopefully this works. Here it is right here. I use it as an airbrush, but I never really used it as a cleaner. I might have to take it apart though if I can't get in there. Good. I'm glad you guys suggested this because otherwise I'd be here all day. Look at that. See, a little teamwork makes dream work. Thanks, Dave. Oh yeah. Oh my God, such a time saver. Why didn't I think of that? Except it's not succulent. Like a really succulent. It's working though. Nice brush. Dave suggested. And then we'll do the screws. Definitely. See, I like using the other side of the vacuum, the blow part. I never really used this part. And now, oh my God, holy shit. I did all that for nothing. This is amazing. Thanks, Dave. It looks like I went in there with, a vacuum. I took the whole thing just, it looks as good as new. Holy crap. You didn't have to do all that. Check it out. The vacuum did all that. I wonder if it's in there on the filter. Yeah, you can still see some of it, but oh yeah, it is. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. I guess because I don't like using this. I like using the blow part of this. Let's see what we got in there. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, there's a filter. Hold on. I believe, oh, there we go. Wow. I've had this for a couple of years, but as you guys have seen in many of the videos, but I've never taken it apart. So I don't know. Oh, I guess we turn it. Can we push it? There's a little latch there. Hold on. Well, this can go back on. Whoa, it's really in there. But look, I got a lot of crap. Wow, you heard that pop? The pressure. Whoops. And don't break your stuff. Now I need to get my finger in there to push it out. And somehow finagle it so that it goes back in correctly. Yep, it's back in. Easier to pull out because of the pressure that's built up. Thank you, Dave. I don't know. I would probably still be picking away. And I was about to take it apart, literally. And then I saw your comments. I was like, yes. I was like, holy crap, I don't have to take it apart. Hopefully. But I was afraid it was going to be stuck on there, though. But that's good to know. Actually, this can go here. That stringy prints means clogged fan. Well, that fan is as good as new now. Now we're just going to take all that was in there. Ay. All the goop. Remnants of what was. Is It's a big cleanup process. Not like a transmission, though. I know my car's got 80,000 miles on it. I feel like it's going to be needing some. I keep getting emails from the Subaru place. I remember on one of my VWs back in the day. I don't have a VW now. I did the transmission flush, and it wasn't cheap. It was expensive, but worth it. It gave like a second life to the car. So if you ever need a transmission rebuild or redone, I'd probably say send this to Dave. But eventually you're gonna have to. If you love your car, old cars, you're not buying a car. We don't have a lease. The car is from 20 something. It's an old car. It's over 10 years old. Anyway, so yeah, look at that. It's our special time together. Nope, it was not. Bath time was a nightmare. That whole experience was a learning experience. You know, we learned. But I have to say, we ate well. It took 3 days to shoot the commercial. So even though it was a 30-second shoot, they shot certain parts on certain days. That part was interesting. So 30 seconds, 3 days, which was really interesting. So next time you see a 30-second commercial, it might have taken 3 days to shoot. Not mine, but any of them. I remember there was another commercial I worked on, but I didn't work on. I worked on the set. I worked with the producer because there was a company I worked with, and it took one day to do a 30-second slot, and I was the prop guy. The prop guy, I had to keep bringing the woman who was the runner. I wonder if they still have it on their website. The woman who was the runner, a new pint. So it looked like every time she went, a moment on the lips, but never on the hips. But we had to keep bringing her a new pint to make it look fresh because they couldn't get the take right. The morning shot, we showed up at 6 a.m. for the shoot. And then, we set up the cameras and all the other stuff. Let me see if they still have it on their website. That one they might have, because I know the owner of that company loves his stuff. Like he'll be showing that commercial for like 20 years from now. That's my commercial, my only one commercial. So we were working on that set. Hold on. And I remember, or maybe they sold the company. Hold on. Possibly they took it down. No, website's not there anymore. Oh, wow, interesting. Oh, yeah, that's right. The website wouldn't be there. Yeah, and I may have a copy of it on a drive. Yeah. Anyway, we showed up really early, and that was a commercial shoot I had done. You make more money if you're the producer of the commercial. You don't really make money as the actor. They don't have it. They don't have a website anymore because the company was bought out by another company, another ice cream. Like I think they were bought out by Dryers, who's owned by Edie's, and Big Apple Dairies in Long Island City. So it's like all one big umbrella company. But when they had their own website, but you can find it. Anyway, so that was. You live and learn, but I like working the shoot. Working the shoot was great. But, working with the producers and filming and stuff like that, that's fun. But being in it, because the reason why is because producers, no, what did they say? They say actors come and go, but the producers always stay, something like that. Because the producers are always busy, right? Because they're producing. Wow, I got a lot of corrosion in the inside. Damn, thought it was done. Whereas, like, when you're acting, you're only as good as your last gig. So you get a gig, that's it, you're done, right? And then you have to move on to the next one and pray that the producer will take you with him or her, because they're on to the next gig. the next commercial, the next whatever. So, you know, you learn about that when you're working commercial sets, which is really cool. Wow, so much goopity goop build up inside. Thankfully, it's the head part. But it was so wild. I smelled something the last time. I just couldn't figure out what it was. And I wasn't sure if I was going to if I had a gas leak. See? It wasn't a gas leak. I have char in there. I wonder what happens if you keep cooking the char on the printer. Like, does it keep cooking, or does it eventually? I know in a toaster oven it turns to like stuff you don't want on there. So yeah, this was supposed to be a quick nozzle swap, literally, but don't worry, we'll show you that part. We'll show you the quick swap after we get off all this crap. Remember, we're just giving this a second life. Like, you know, I could replace this part. I do have this part, but I don't want to. I don't feel like I need to. And it's expensive. But I'll show you the part once I'm done cleaning it. Because if you can clean it, clean it. Be like Dave, you know. He's putting new transmissions in. Sometimes they rebuild them, you know. And if you can rebuild your stuff, why not? Well, nothing like the original parts. That's why they call this machine the Beast, because it can really take a beating. Like, really. I like it. They don't make things like this anymore. You see the printer I have. Creality High is beautiful, but it's hands off. You might be doing this with the extruder, maybe. I doubt it. I think they have it set up so you're getting new parts. But I don't know. What should I be using to WD-40 maybe to get the corrosion off? This is working just as good. You guys suggested a brush. I don't have a brush that small though. Oh well, definitely don't want to cross-contaminate after you get the stuff off. Just take a new Q-tip. This way it'll take the rest of the stuff off. Wow. Yeah. Oh, it's coming off with the alcohol, which is great. Look how black that is. Oh wait, hold on. See? Wow. It's usually stainless steel, titanium, clear in there. But thankfully, it was a clog. I remember the clog that day when the stuff got stuck to it. I'm not sure if it was TPU or PLA. But we're getting it. We're getting it. Look at these Q-tip heads. They're black. That's how much goop is in there. But usually, that was such a great idea to take the, use the vacuum. Thanks, Dave. Usually, like they, Mark Bay was saying, you want it to be hot if you got, oh wow, bummer. Here we go, back to the drawing board. So I got one side spick and span. Now I got to do another side. It's okay, we got the time. You got to be really careful. I wonder if WD-40 would work. I don't know. This is working just as good though. But for sure next time I'll probably remove this. And then just put the new one on. But if you don't have to, don't. Don't, because don't do it. See? Just trying to get the black stuff out. But then that's it. I think I'm done after this last Q-tip. And then we can put it back on. And I don't have to take it apart, thanks to Dave. I was literally about to take it apart to get inside the fan. And like Dave was saying, stringing prints mean clogged fan. I never knew that, to be honest with you. So you see a lot of people on the forum saying, oh, you need to fine-tune your printer. Yeah. Fine-tune means getting the shit out of there. They're like, try these settings, try the retraction. Change the retraction so that, yeah, basically get the vacuum and let it retract all the crap that's in there that's causing your stuff to string up. I never knew that until now. I always got the reply of fine-tune. Yeah, you live in, but that happens sometimes. When you look on these forums, people looking for a solution, like everyone's, but there's like 1,000,001 ways, 1,000,001 different solutions on there. People are like, oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, put a glass, oh, wow, put a glass of water under the bed, and maybe, you know, pray, and then you will fix your extruder. All right, we are one more and that's it. A lot of crap. And normally you would just change the nozzle. It looked beautiful in there. It has the new, you know, the new nozzle, new extruder, new everything. It's just fine. You won't even have to do this. But fortunately, because we had a clog and a burn, and that's it. Voila. Thanks, Dave. You saved me. So now, what you want to do is, when you put the screws back in, look at that. This is all black and charred. And more charring there. Is that the new one? Yeah, this is the new one. Is that the new one? No, this isn't the new one. Look in here. I think the other one's on the printer. All that goopy stuff. Something cooked in there that wasn't supposed to. And I was cooking that night. That night I smelled something. Well, you guys are here on the live stream. It's like, what? So now we have to put this, push this down so that it's flat. See, it goes in. It only goes in so far. And if you want to know how far it goes in, you can pull it out. I feel like if you're not sure, like, wait, am I putting it in all the way? And usually it has to be hot, like Mark Bay was saying. But in this case, we got lucky, I would say. I was afraid that it was going to have to be hot, and it's no fun working with a hot extruder. And you probably will be if you get a clog. There's no way in hell you're getting a clog out. Like I left a link to that video if you want to watch it. Without cooking it off. I have a heat gun, but thank goodness I have not had the opportunity to use it. This definitely has been given a second life. And oh wow, I forgot there's another part of it. I can definitely get in there. I forgot there are 2 fans, so I will definitely get the other fan too. So it means I gotta put the vacuum attachment back on. So you just screw them so that they're tight, but not crazily tight. Just tight enough to work magic. And remember that other bolt to tighten that one too when the timing is right, because that's going to hold things in. This looks pretty cool. Looks definitely cleaner now. So now what you're going to do is, just trying to think if I should do it here or over there. Let me just tighten everything that needs to be tightened first. And then this one goes right on here. This one. Then you tighten this one. Just keep turning it. Until it's tight. And it's okay if it's not even, because you're going to have to tighten it again on the other thing. I'm just checking it out. See right here? There's another bolt that you have to tighten, and that's what's holding the main part of the extruder in place. This bolt right here. I'm hoping I don't have to do this again, like take it apart. If you look at the part to replace this, it only sells you the extruder. Hold on, let me make this tight. So this one's tight, just taunt tight, not crazily tight. Don't over tighten it, because that's what's holding the other part of the nozzle in there. This whole thing, you have to take off the chip and then the other part, and then rebuild the whole thing so that it works with your new replacement part. So that's this. So this is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do this from the other part of the printer. Well, this part I'll put on, okay, so that you guys can see on this better camera. So on that note, so we have this right here, this little key, right? And we have our, oh wow, our charred nozzle head. See that? It's dark as night. I'm Batman. So that's not how it's supposed to look. And all that was cooked in there, and we had to clean it out. Normally, when you replace the nozzle head, you just put it in. This is a new one. See? And that's how it will look. It might look a little darker, but it won't look like that. Basically burnt out. And then you put it on like here. See? And then you find the hole. Where's the hole? I don't know. This part right here. See? And then you would put it in, but you can't put it in as of yet until you start seating it first. See? Seat it first. Put it on like that. And then, and this is original Creality part. I'll leave a link to this in the description. There are other nozzles you could use, but in the beginning I was a Creality fanboy, and I was like, it has to be the Creality part. See, then you just turn it, hold this part right here so that it stays even, because remember that part it's going to move, and then just make it taut tight. Not super tight, but just tight enough so that the shit just works. And then just, there we go, that's tight enough. Then you make sure these are even. See how that's a little off? If you look at it, it's crooked, right? This is not straight. So we can take that and just use your hands, put it like that. So now it's even, like it's level, sort of. Yeah, like that. So that it just looks straight. Now it looks straight. It's not straight because I'm not holding it straight, but you want it to see like that. So you want it to be even. And then now, is that even? Yeah, it looks pretty even, Stevens. And then you could always move it with the little hex key that way, and then move it up with the hex key. You're trying to move the whole rectangular piece, not the bolt. And then move it until you feel that it's straight. Yeah, that's better. Now it's straight. And then once you feel like it's straight enough, where you drive yourself crazy trying to make it as straight as you can, you put this little piece on. Now this is how this piece should look. See, without the goop inside, no goop, fresh, clean. I can touch it, and there's nothing on my hands. This is the old one. I don't know. Check yours. Check. Everyone should. If you have this printer, just check it. If you like this video, pause and check your stuff too. Don't just assume like my printer doesn't do that. Yeah, you'd be surprised. So now it's on. See, it looks really nice now, but it's just covered. We cleaned it up. We gave it a second life. No need to put the new one on. I'll show you the new one in a bit. But if you can extend the life of it, do it. That's why they call this machine the Beast, because it can withstand a lot. So now, thanks to Dave's suggestion, just use the vacuum. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And a lot came out. I feel it sucking too. Oh wow. And stringing. Wow. Oh yeah. Oh wow. That does it. When you do that, when you press down and let the brush do the work, it really takes the stuff out. Like, you really can't get in there with your hand, but if you take the brush, dig in, dig in, dig in. That's with this vacuum though. Wow, it's like night and day. Yeah. Definitely. And I was always using this as a blower to blow the stuff. I was like, what do I need a vacuum for? I don't need a vacuum. I'll just blow everything out. No, you can't. Especially with this. I'm going to put it to work on the table instead of blowing everything out. I always blow it out. Let's see. Oh yeah. Whoops. Sort of. Oh yeah, it works. Sort of. It's just not strong enough. That's another reason why. It's sucking it, but... yeah, no, it's working. Oh wow. Alright. To some extent. But... they work better on here. This is great. Let's see. Oh wow. It's as good as new. Da, 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 da. I want to move it. I'm not sticking my finger in the fan. Just looking at it. Wow. It's like night and day in there. Unbelievable. I wonder how many people do this. This one is super clean. The one that... wow. Amazing. So yeah, we redid it. So now we're going to go back. Oh wow, no, this thing... that's a little corroded, but It's all right. Just put your tools in the order you found them, so that you go crazy looking for them later. So I'm just gonna put this away, and then we'll rebuild it. No, then we'll level the board, and then we're done. And then we'll print the fish. If you can print the fish after this, as Ken would say, you love printing that fish. I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm not gonna print a 45 or 15-minute print. The fish has always worked. The fish has always been its calibration tool, and it's worked wonders. And the fish only takes 3 minutes to print on this machine. Whereas on the Creality High, it takes 1 minute. Un momento. Where is that? I'm gonna put this back. Might leave this handy. More accessible now that we know. We might be using it in future videos, but this I'll always leave on the desk because I'll still be blowing everything off. I don't know. So this is the tweezers that go on the other side. This one goes here. Now, the part that was supposed to happen as easy as 1, 2, 3. So normally you would do nozzle. Now I would say nozzle, clean the fan, and then you know, put everything back. Make sure it's straight, right? Because it's going back on. I'm gonna push everything to the computer so that y'all can see. Oh, let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, nothing as of since then. On some printers, they tell you to heat. You have to, like, literally. But I heated it up first to get the filament out. But I was a little skeptical because if you saw when I pulled the filament out, it was stringing. There was some remnants in there. Well, that's okay. We'll teach you how to clean it out. But Marker Bay has been printing longer than we have. So, wow, look at that. Man, so watch your prints. If you smell something, I guess next time I smell something, I'm just going to check my printer. So I'm going to bring these back over there once I get the screen going. So I'm going to get the screen going and, oh, bummer. Even though we set sleep to never. That's okay. We have a backup. We always have a backup of the backup. One thing you learn in IT is to have a backup of the backup. So I'm going to have to plug the phone into the backup. If that makes any sense. Backup power. You just need more time. Unless, I think I have one down here, which is a super drive, super power. This one. So wait about a minute, 99%, and the phone should start up in a second or two. So while the phone's getting ready to boot up, I'm just going to take this toothbrush and put it over there. Yeah, so a little bit of a bummer, but I am glad that I did this now rather than later, and we can have a contest to see which printer finished the job first, right? Now it can be easy. That's the phone turning on. It'll be a fair contest because we got a rebuild versus the new build. Who won? Fight, right? Like it'll be like Mortal Kombat. Body blow, left, 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 right. So we're done with the tweezers, and we're definitely done with the alcohol. Unless you want to wipe down your your board. I recommend wiping down your board if need be, but put the alcohol away because it is flammable. So you're going to be working with some heat. And now that the phone is starting up, I'll let it get to 2%. 1%, the battery will still die. It'll be like, You gotta wait. Give me more time. This is a text I got. Let's see what it says. Let's see what people are saying. They said, they said, genetic information. Oh. Your info has already been stolen by the government. Don't waste your time. And I said, I thought the government gave me all my info. Birth certificate, social security, bank info during tax time. What other info did they steal that we should be on the lookout for? Hope they don't find out where I live. Like the government knows everything about you. Like what could they have possibly have taken that they don't already have other than your taxes, right? That I mean, like, it doesn't make any sense. That's, I don't know. I mean, I'm not on board with a lot of this stuff, but what could they have taken that they don't already have access to or own? Anyway, we don't do politics here, but as you can see, I tend to see things more humorly. Humor me. All right, knowing that and moving forward, let's see what percentage we got now. 3%. Oh, and I don't need these any. 3% is enough to bring it over there and let it continue charging. Let me put these over here. These eyewear, fancy eyewear. Nowhere. All right, so now I'm going to push everything back to the computer and we'll back to where we were. That was a surprise. That was a major surprise, a major clean out. But better to do the clean out before you have a blowout, right? Like literally. I'm not sure what happens when char keeps cooking on there or in there, creating more cross-contamination of a build/fill, right? Where's Phil? Phil. I'll clean up later. This is not a cleanup video, but I was just buying time while the battery was charging. All right, so now that we have that, yay, we're back in business. And I didn't have to take it apart. I was literally about to take the whole thing apart to access that fan. And then Brian chimed in. And then Dave chimed in on the last video. Thanks to Dave, I was able to find, Dave was like, you got to clean it out. And then I was like, if he had not said anything, I probably wasn't going to clean it out. And then Brian, I looked up the part for the next soldering video, and I was able to find replacement connectors. Because I was just going to do the thing with the Q-tip. And then after Brian's suggestion. See, you guys make great suggestions. You know, like, you help make things better than worse and streamline it. Right? Dream work makes teamwork. My kids always say that. Apparently that's what they're teaching them in school to some extent. Okay. We're going to zoom in a little bit. There we go. Hold on one second. All right, so we're zoomed in. I'm going to put the extruder back on, and then we'll see a lot of camera movement when I go to level it, but I'll make sure you guys can see the positioning. But first, make sure your connectors are good. We're going to screw it on first, and then, you know, work the magnet. Double check. Remember your screws and your bolts, because you don't want to mess it up. Make sure you've tightened everything that needs to be tightened. Get all the corrosion off, and the only thing you might smell in the beginning is the alcohol that, you know, could be remnants, but it should be dry in there because it's quick, dry rubbing alcohol. So we should be okay, in a sense, because it is flammable, but I don't think, you know, I don't think it's detrimental. Oh, and I need an Allen key. So it comes with the Allen keys needed, but to take the extruder apart, you're gonna need your own kit. They didn't plan ahead for that, unfortunately. So then this, right? Make sure you have your front to front, then back to back, and then this goes like that. And you should be able to seat it on like that. See? And then just work magic. It should hold its own. And then, hold on one second. Once that's there, now we can find our screws. right? And just do this first, make sure it fits. And then now we have 5, okay? If you're missing one, look for it. If you're not doing super fast prints like me, you might be okay. You might be able to get away with 4 screws. But it calls for 5. That's why I recommend when you take it apart that you put the screws in that tray right here. It comes with a little drawer. I have some spare parts in there, but don't worry, I'll show you the other part that I was talking about too. 3, 4, 5. Just tight enough. Nice to see Dave's here though. I was wondering what happened with Dave. Let's see, now we go here. Oh, that's right, we were working late night. And I think Dave works in the morning. So now I need one more screw. That's why we try to have it at different times when we can, so everyone can see, because some people like these live shows. And Markabe asked if we can do it earlier. Ken suggested we schedule them so they can plan around them. You know, which is great. So now I'm going to show you another part. The part that I'm talking about. So the nozzles come here. It's original Creality parts. You could use third-party ones. Doesn't have to be Creality. When you do third-party, you get more. And this is that other part that I was cleaning. See? The main extruder part. And if you don't have to use it, don't use it. You know? This is called the heating block. The heating block Pro Kit. But I'm not using it because I don't have to. If you can clean it up and make it right, buy time. Buy time, save money, right? Buy time, because that part's not going to be cheap anyway. And you want to have these parts on standby. The reason why I got these parts to have on standby, because when I joined the Creality forum on Facebook, I saw a lot of people with clogs and issues they were having, and I was thinking like, wow, what do I do if that happens to me? Will I be ready? Will you be ready? And being ready means having those parts on standby, especially now. They don't make, this one's going to be obsolete in the future. It's going to be harder to get parts for your older machine. So this one, remember, put it in its, make sure you can see, make sure we're still streaming. These little plastic things right there, you can put it in last, but you gotta buckle it in, okay? But first we're gonna make sure, go there and there, okay? And then now, you could do this while it's off if you're not comfortable, or you pull these 2 out, 1, 2, see that? And in case you didn't see that? Pull 1 out, another out. Don't just put it in. And then now, we'll put this one in. Make sure it goes on its little prong thingies, because you don't want to. This one you only get 1 take. All right? You screw it up, say bye-bye. Not bye-bye. Yeah, sort of bye-bye, because this is a big replacement job to replace this. Bye-bye to your printer. And then make sure in the back everything is good to go. And then now, since you have this error here on your screen, because remember everything was abnormal, right? Hold on, let me just spin this around. One moment, please. Since you have that, hold on. Just working the tripod. Remember, it's been a while since I worked the set. Action. If you have that error on your machine, just do this, shred it off. Maybe turn it on with your hands not under it, because the printer might move. Now it's ready to go. Shouldn't get anything abnormal. The reason why we got abnormal was because we disconnected everything from there. But now on boot, it should, you know, see, back to normal. Now the fun begins. Now we're gonna level the print bed. Okay, so you're gonna go here. It's gonna go back home, work its magic. Wait for it. It still says going home. Da, 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 da. I wanna go home. It's going back home. I wanna go home. Whoa, this time. All right, now it's here. So now we're gonna go manual. Okay. And then we have settings. Leveling. Okay, you have home, print, ready, settings, leveling. I could start, right? So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to manual level. Okay, you have aux level and auto level. Okay, you decide which one you know. For me, I'm going to do aux level first and then press start. Okay, it's going to work its magic, and then I'm going to press start. It says leveling, so we got to wait for it to, you know, come out of its state. Now press start. Bed leveling, please wait. Remember, we're doing aux first, and then I'll auto level afterwards, because we want to adjust it with this. The filament, this is like as thinner than paper, not thin as, thinner. Look at that, and that's how I like for it to be. Bed leveling, please wait. So that's going to work its magic there. We got to wait a little bit. I remember this is live, so you either have to be patient or maybe go do something else in the meantime. So it's, see, bed leveling, please wait until done. And these are right here. And hopefully this will work, you know. See, I can zoom out a little bit. And then maybe bring the tripod up so you guys can get more of a bird's eye view of things. That's as high as this tripod goes. And then now you can do here. Zoom in, pull out. And you want all these to be green. If you get a different color, then you're pretty much going to be... But either way, we're going to use the filament detector thingy. That we can do better. We can make more magic happen within the magic. Oh, let's see, it's still pushing, which is great. Oh, nice. It looks different on the phone. I wasn't really looking at it from the other perspective. I was looking at it on the phone, but it looks so far away, but it looks better on the monitor, which is just phenomenal. Oh, and you can't see the screen. Good thing I came over to look at this. So we'll make me a little bit smaller. There we go. See? And we can put myself up there since I don't need to be there. And then voila. Now you can see. See, these parts have to be green. But we're going to do manual leveling too. Almost done. Working the magic. Wow, this was supposed to be like a 20-minute video, and I remember yesterday I was like, oh, it'll be a short video. We're only going to be focusing on leveling the bed. And the next thing you know, it's like freaking, how long? Yeah, you can't really... if you saw my stream yesterday, those were my exact words. Let's see, streaming. Oh, 2 hours. Wow. Yeah. I was like, I said it will be short. If you have any questions, we'll save them for Saturday. All right, so there we go. Please wait until done. See? We can save, whoops, almost pressed the wrong button. We can save that. And then we can go to leveling again. And press there. And then you go back. Watch what happens. Well, we can't go back yet until it's actually done with its magic. Maybe we should see another menu. It's still going up and down, up and down. See, this is the one. Now this is where the fun begins. Number one is number one. All right, so now you want to go in there with this thing, and usually you do this with paper, and then what you do is you hold it, bring it down until it doesn't move, until this sensor thingy is jammed in there. And one moment please, it's a tight spot because the camera's there. And then what you do is you move it like this. See how I'm moving it? But I can move it. That means it's not jammed in there. Now it's in there. That's too tight. See how taut it is? So we move it up. And then we go, that's still rubbing. Bring it up. Ah, there we go. So that's one before it actually touches. It's like, yay, it's leveled. Not quite, because after redoing calibrating all 5, one of them is going to be off. So now I'm going to go to 2. Whoops, make sure this is off. I'm going to go to the point 2. And then do the same thing. And this one looks like it's not going to fit. Nope, because it needs to be brought up. Do 1, and if it goes under, nope, it didn't work. Do 1. Yep, that works. And you can tell that's too close though. You can tell it's too close if it's scratching it. We don't want that. And then you just do that, you wipe it, and then the remnants of your scratch are gone. And now we can move on to point 3. Okay. And then now, 3 looks 3. I could see right through number 3 from here. I know it'll fit. But now I need to make sure, how far is it from touching the build plate? 1. Yeah. So it's a pretty good spot. So bring it up 1. I don't want it to be scraping. Right? And then we go back to, we did 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, filament, look how thin, and that's how your prints come out amazing. If you use this, I mean, you don't have this right now. You're probably using paper, but that's okay. Now you know you can do something better. So now I'm going to bring it down, move it. Nope, too much space. Move it. Nope. Move it. Wow, this one's way off. Move it, and this happens because, you know, things happen. Oh, that's too close now. From the heat, parts move. One more. Maybe, I'm not sure. Wow, yeah, that's good. That's all right. So now that's 4, and last but least 5. But we're not done, because as soon as I hit 1 in the center, it might be off. Okay, and then what you want to do is check them all. Because just because they're all good, see, this one's too tight though. I'm going to bring it up 1. 1 should do. No, too tight. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Bring 1 down. I just want to double check. Oh yeah. See that? Bring it down again. See what happens. Oh, that's too scratchy. Now it should be good. Now we're good. See, it was too scratchy. But it's so thin, it's thinner than paper. But that's what I've been using to make the print so nice. So now we're good, but we're not really good, because we need to make sure that the bed is level. I mean, that everything's level. And sometimes you might have to turn these. Thankfully I don't, because I made them as tight as could be in the beginning. But, you know, remember, heat causes stuff to expand. So you may have to, but thankfully I don't. But you might have to, but I'll show you some other things you might have to do. So now we're back to 1. Now we're going to put it underneath on 1 and just test them all. Because remember, we were leveling, but sometimes it throws the whole bed off, right? Like it's only those, see, look, this one, it won't go in. See? So that's number 2. So I got to bring, and they all fit before, but what happened? What happened was everything is sort of off balance, but we got them to where that's 2. But you get the gist of it basically. Balancing each, leveling each one. See, this one's fine. That's 3. And then you have to check each and every one. And then we go there. That one's fine. 4 and 5. And then hopefully it goes in. Nice. And now, when that does that, right? Now what I like to do is I like to do auto leveling. Who doesn't like AI taking care of their stuff? But now I can trust that I did all that, right? Then we'll go start. Wait, that was 4. I think 5 was in the middle. I think I missed 5, but that's okay. Let's see if we go back to 5. Just want to make sure. Yep, 5 fits. Okay, 5 fits. Go to auto leveling and start. Now I trust the auto level. On newer machines, it really does. You don't do this. It does it all for you. On the older machines, you have to. So now I can press start, and the magic will happen. Now I can take this, put it back in carefully. Probably take this out. And then one last thing you have to do. Put this back in here. Will that fit? Yeah. Well, make sure these are tight. Not because sometimes these can become loose. So we might need an Allen key. I believe it is this one, maybe. Is it that one? Nope. Another bigger one. So we're just going to let it level. Yeah, that one. Okay. Just leave it. Try not to move stuff. Let it work its magic. So this is about as long as it takes to level the board, let alone do all the other fancy stuff. But yeah. Oh, I don't need this anymore. Paintbrush. See that? I was like trying to paintbrush the lint stuff out. Nope. And then Dave's like, use a vacuum. I still love this machine. This machine is just, it's the beast. It really is the beast. I wish they had a light. Let's see the light on there that's shining over it. They don't have a light for the Creality High yet. Oh, wow. Interesting. Huh. What's that? Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll show you guys in a second. See, some of the bolts are loose, especially in the back. So you want to make sure, this happens over the course of time. It's not you, it's not the printer. Things just become loose from moving. And I'll show you how loose the shit is back there. But I'm glad I'm doing this now. And then what we'll do is, we'll take this thing out again. And just to make sure everything is good to go before we go. See how it's in the middle, which is fine. It's going to go in the middle, but I want to get this thing out again if I can. It'll let me. Now that that's there, we can save this. Okay, we're going to hit save. Okay. And then go back here. Leveling. Go back. No, we should see number 5. when it stops. I want to. Then you just check your center point and make sure this will go into the middle. But we can't do that yet until it stops going up and down. And then now we should be able to, not number 5, number 1, sorry. I keep thinking number 1. And then now, just to double check, this should be, yep, go in a little bit like that. So now that that's done, we can close the drawer, almost close the drawer. But if I go over here, you'll see over here, watch that. See how that's moving? So check your stuff, make sure stuff is tight. These are okay. Is that one all right? So I'll just move stuff around, tighten it. You also want to make sure that, let me get this in there. These things are tight. Not like super tight, but just tight enough so that they don't move. Whoops. That's it, that's tight. This one, that's fine, because that goes up and down. Just double check, right? Just double check your stuff. This one, we'll just check here. That's fine. That's fine. Oh wow, that's not fine. And sometimes that happens, you know. Tricky part's the angle. It's like loose, but it should be just tight enough. See, this is just too loose. So sometimes you need both. Sometimes you need one to hold and one to turn, because it's that kind of bolt, unfortunately. So we take, which one? All right, so we can bring this back since we're good. I believe maybe this one. Yeah, because the other one will turn anyway. And you can just hold it. And then see, look, oh, now it's tight. No, you don't want it to be too tight though, because then the this thing won't turn. You just want to be able to turn them with your fingers, but the bolt should be tight. Okay? And then the same thing with this one. Just loose enough to turn and tight enough to be taut. This one should be the same size. Yep. And then you could use the other one. This is the second time I've done this since I own it, so we're fine. And you see how it's too tight? So we just loosen it a little bit. Find that right bolt. There we are. Now it's, you want to be able to turn it with your finger so it can work its magic and be loose enough to turn like that. Loose enough to turn. That one's, yeah, that one like that. That one's a little bit too tight. If it feels tight, then it's too tight. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. And then this one's a little bit too tight. You can do like a semi-quarter turn. Not even a quarter, just a tad turn. And that's enough to move this. See how I'm turning with my finger like that? Nice. And then move this one like that. And if you feel like it's not right, like that, just a little, until you, oh yeah, there we go. There we are. See? Just move it so that you can move it like that. Same thing with these. This one's fine. Just turn it. That one feels a little too tight. I don't think I touched that one. I was probably just locked in. Yeah, that's fine. And then check these. See on the side? This one, wow. You can be a little bit tighter. This one we can just use the key. It was my second time doing this since I owned it. And then next time I do this will probably be, oh wow, this one's really tight. I didn't even touch this one. There we are. See? Just want to be able to turn it like that. See how it's turning? Not too tight, but just right. And then this one's like super loose. But that's okay. We now know what to do. Now if I can just get it in. There. Okay. Now we pray we can do the fish calibration. Put everything away. Hopefully we don't get spaghetti. Go home, print, and whoops, no, not there. Oh, I guess I have to go down. I believe it's the fish. Nope, not the fish. Oh, I have to do it from the phone. Hold on. Because I don't know what fish that is, but I know the fish on here is the fish we're looking for. Oh wow, it looks nice like that. Hold on. Now that we're done there, sort of, I'll put it back. I just need to cinematic. Let's try that one next. Okay, let's go here. Not Creality, Beagle, because this one you can print with the camera. And then go to this one. And then here. There. Now we should be able to print that. Oh, sort of. I almost forgot. But that's okay, we got time to save ourselves. Save yourself. There. Voila. And actually, you know what we could do? It should be fine though. I was going to say we could extrude the filament that's in there. So what we could do is this. We can pause this. Oh, if you print from the camera, you have no control over your printer. So know that. With the smart camera, you have to control the print from here. And then if I stop it, yes, it's stopped. Now I can control my printer from here. It's a really weird, I don't know if that's a flaw or a safety feature. So now if I go here, I can control it in and out. I'm gonna extrude out. I'm gonna do 35 and then go there. In case you're wondering what I did. I went here, in and out, and then I went to settings. I put 35, and now it's going to heat up and then push the filament out when it reaches its 200 degrees, or it might even start now. Should I do it now? Yeah, it should start. Sometimes it waits for it to get to the exact temperature But this is what you want to do before you start your print. This way it gets all the, you know, remnants out from whatever we were doing, pushes out maybe some extra cotton. Cotton will probably cook in there. But no, we made sure. That's why we used the alcohol, and we blew it out. You know, like just blow it out. I think I blew into it. See, here we go. Some nice Mr. Softy, soft serve, and of course we have the tweezers so that we can get in there. If we do have them, yes, we do. This is one of them. I don't know if this is the one I took out though. There, it's done. Now, well, sort of, I think I put 35. 35 is maybe too much, but for a clean like this, usually I do 25. I did, never did 35 before, so it's just coming out. It's okay though. You feel like too much is coming out, you could always reset it back to 0, but it looks like it stopped. So that's about 35. See? So now we can go back, and if we are lucky, I'll just put this back in there. Always keep the tweezers handy because you never know when you're going to have to go in there and grab stuff. Now, sometimes I do this too. Hold on. That's why the board looks the way it does. I always do this. One moment, please. I just take a rag like this, and just a little bit of the alcohol, and I just rub it on here. Rub it clean, and then now that it's clean, we are almost ready to go. And I use some of this 3D lac. I've had this for almost 2 years, so I don't, you know, and I use it sparingly. I just do like that. See? Every now and again. But if I'm going to be doing a long print, I'll definitely put that on beforehand. Now I can go back into the phone, if it lets me. Back here. And go back into printable files. Scroll back down to the bottom. Hopefully it lets me. It looks like a broken connection. Might have to go back. Hate when that happens, because that means I got to do that again. Just fine. There we go. And now I'll go back here to the camera. Oh, what's the view is that? No, well, that's gives us a view there. Oh, same thing, similar. Now we just wait, and if the fish prints, we are done. Wow, so much for that 20-minute video, as promised. But this is really cool. It's been interesting and a learning experience for me too, because I now know you could use the vacuum. I could blow it out, and also reminded me to heat up the board, right? Moving forward, to get the real gist of it. And these are the other one, Fang. They are fangs like vampires. You know, third-party nozzles, cheaper. You get more, but they don't give you that plastic thing that goes on top. So that's why I got the original Creality ones. But it's always nice to have extras because you don't always have to replace that plastic part. You know, the odds of it happening again, you know, are slim. You will have to change it again, but the odds of it becoming cake on the inside, like with this substance, it could be from the TPU. I don't know. You know, what do you guys think? Was that TPU? Like, is that what happens when you use TPU? Not sure. We'll find out. And they'll do a TPU print and see what happens. It could be a clog. It was a clog of some sort. Remnants of, I forget which it was, to be honest with you, but there was a clog. So it's heating up. It's at 199. And then once it reaches 200, the print will begin. And now I'll just bring this down so that you guys can see the magic happen from below. below. Now we get to see from here. Hopefully it'll work. We'll know if it turns to spaghetti. Extra cheese, hold the tomato sauce, and just leave the crust. Okay, we got a little brim thing happening. Or skirt, whatever it's called. This worked out really well. Looks so smooth. Looks smoother. This part stuck onto the board really nicely compared to before. Got a little torpedo propeller working on that. Sweet. So far, so good. Looking like it should, which is great. But I'm going to do one more test, print one more part that takes a minute, which is a little plug that goes into the frog, which is a cylinder piece that's so small that it should be able to print it standing up. And then we are good to go. And then we'll end it. And we'll see who won. Probably the Creality High. There we go. I think this is the last layer. And again, this is why I print the fish, because it only takes about 3 minutes, opposed to printing something that takes 45 to 15, just to find out if the machine needs to be recalibrated again, which can be a nightmare for some people. Like, I gotta wait another 15. A lot of people don't know about the fish technique. And then I think for me, I'm gonna use the fish end cylinder technique. So there's 3 plus 2 minutes, right? 5 minutes to calibrate a machine. To make sure everything works just right for you. I just need to label the part. I keep forgetting what it's called. I think it's the cover, the cylinder. It's one of the last few pieces that was printed that belonged to the frog. And there it is. Wow. Look at that. And we know our board is in good shape. Looks better than before. Looks better than our previous fish. Look at that. Kind of neat, huh? Gotta love it. The bones, you can see the bones and the eye, the fish eye, you can see right through it. You can actually put this on a hook. You want to be able to put your fish on a hook. But we're not done. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Not that she can, but Alright, so now we're gonna do one more last test. And it's not rocket. Stick. There we go. So when you take your print off the bed, when it's really hot, it's flexible. And that's why you want to wait for your prints to cool off. In this case, I'm not going to wait for it to cool off because I want to pull it off. But this one, if you ever print the fish, it's really cool when you rip it off because you can, well, before I start, you can see all the detail, but you can also bend it when it's still warm. See, it's still warm. Maybe that's bent too much, but then what happens is, if he's bent, well, I think I bent them the wrong way, but that's okay. When he's bent, you can then put him on his little angle, and it looks like the guy is catching him, like he's catching a fish. And the hardest part is doing this with glasses on, but that's how you know you got a good print. And if the fish goes on the hook, you are golden. But now we're not sure yet because we want to make sure that was great on a flat piece, but what about on a cylinder standing up? So let's try this one. Oh, I have to connect it, but at least we don't have to travel too far down, because that happens a lot with this one. There we go. I don't know why, it's the app. So we'll go to Cura Stick. In 2 minutes and 54 seconds. See, 3, 4, 5, we're around 5 or 6, but the bread's already warmed up, so we're buying more time. And then now we should be able to see the last print to check its final calibration, which is a small little cylinder standing up that's supposed to go inside of the frog. Oh, you haven't seen the frog yet. That's next week's 3D print of the week. And there, almost done, hopefully. For sometimes for parts that stand up like that, you want to add a little more 3D lac, because small cylinders do require a bit of assistance. If you're not using supports, if I'm not using a raft or brim or whatever it's called, something flat that's going to print on and then print it. But if you're just going to have it go on the board, you're fine. But this cylinder part is so small, it's like almost like that, but standing up, about like that, a quarter of it. So from now on, the cylinder test and the fish test. If the fish can go on the hook, if the fish prints with all its details and bones and nooks and crannies, you are golden. And it's just working its magic here, priming it, that prime thing that goes around. Except this might be a different. Oh yeah, this is it. Okay, it's doing it well. All right, so we're almost there. We can go back to the compute. Oh wow, this looks really nice. I kind of like this. It's really cool. Hard to see, but let me move the camera angle a little bit more this way, maybe. There, you can see underneath. It's really hard to see in there without getting in there. Let's see if we can zoom in. Nah, probably from the computer. Yeah, maybe the computer. Let's see. It does look beautiful from there, but if we go here, select new, and then bring this to the front. Bring this here. We can go here. Let it work its magic. And then bring it 47%. That's why you got to be fast. So yeah, we can see it. There's our little cylinder printing. But I can't zoom in. Oh yeah. Sweet. Looks big, but it's not that big. If I can. Where is this one? Oh, there we are. Sweet. Now we'll just go back to here. I kind of like that view. I wish we can get. This is a really good camera, the iPhone. That's why you just need an iPhone to get started if you want to be a content creator, and then everything else comes with time. I upgraded as time went by. As you've been following me, I piecemealed everything, but I started out with the phone, and then I got a camera. I got tired of my saying notifications coming up, or putting the phone in airplane mode and not being in touch with people. But it does work, and look at the quality. And that's the quality from streaming. Now imagine the quality from your videos. The iPhone does do good videos, but you have to make sure the lighting is consistent. If the lighting changes, you're going to have a different experience with your stuff. But it still works, and it's phenomenal. And some successful creators that have more subscribers than me just use their phone. Looks like we are almost done. Please stand. Yes, and it worked. Look at that. The cylinder test worked. We did it. Oh wow, it came right off too. Good thing it's not longer. Otherwise it may not have lasted that long. Hold on. See? Oh, it's beautiful though. Look how nice and clean that is. Wow. Is that zoomed in? Hold on. Oh, this is zoomed in. That's crazy. Look how nice. Look at look at how. Whoops. No, 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 no. Okay. Bed is supposed to be level. Look how nice and smooth that is all the way around. So it passed the cylinder test. It came right off though, but it took its time. It did it all. Look at that. Kind of neat, huh? Got it. It's supposed to go inside the frog. You'll see that on next week's 3D print. But it did what it was supposed to do. And even though it took a while, hopefully you guys learned something. Or maybe those that already knew what was happening. Make sure it doesn't go under the board. Hopefully you were entertained, by the experience to make things just right for you. And thanks, Dave. Thanks, Mark Bay, for those tips. Remember, use a vacuum. Don't use the tweezers because it's going to take forever and it does not get everything out. Your stuff. I'm just going to put the lighting back here and then go here and then voila. Whew. I feel like I could use a nap right now. Lunchtime. It is lunchtime. Let me get my phone so it doesn't die out. 1 second. Now that it's fully charged. But that is pretty much how you do it. Let me just put the mic back so we can get our audio back to normal. Let's see. Audio, we're going to disable. Enable. There we are, back here. And things are back to normal with our other mic. That's why I don't use the DJI mic, because the audio, it's promising, but it's not there yet. Looks pretty. It's like the BMW of mics, but it doesn't do really what it's supposed to do. You got to talk louder. You got to do all the other stuff. Let me just quit screen mirroring here and see what you guys are chiming in. Let me just do this really quick, since we did change the mic setup, and then we're just gonna mute that, and then go to skip when we can, and then go to 5.5.2.5, and now, wow, I'm winded, and then now, since we did change the mic setup, mute that, and then go to skip when we can, and then go to 5.2.5. Nice. The audio is sunk, and then we'll chime in and see what you guys pop out chat. Marco Bay loves when I do that, and it helps too, because sometimes the audio doesn't sync when you swap too many peripherals in and out of your computer. Next thing you know, you're like a Chinese movie with subtitles. Remember those Sunday Kung Fu movies like that? Hey, Brother Lee, Master John said you gotta go back the other way. And that happens with the microphone, which is messed up. But even though you have your sync offset, it's something when you plug too many things in and out. All right, let's see. Let's chime in. I'm back. Did you fix it? Yes, it's fixed. We love it. 12. I know 12 people watching. When I looked just a second ago, it said 16. That is phenomenal. Welcome, guys. Subscribe. We do videos like this. We do 3D print of the week. We do troubleshooting videos. We do drone stuff. We do tech stuff. We do product stuff. People send me products. We do laser engraving. Laser engraving was sent to us from another company that wanted us to review it. So it's not just drones, it's not just 3D printing, it's other tech issues, other Macintosh issues. If you use Final Cut, if you have a Mac and anything I have trouble with and experience, you'll see a video for, which is stuff you have in your garage, stuff you have in your tool shed, stuff you have with your 3D printer, stuff you have with your toys, with your kids, stuff you have on your exercise bike, which we'll be fixing next week because my wife's thing became corroded. And thanks to Brian, we got the parts because he had suggested doing a full thorough clean. I was just gonna cut corners. Anyway, knowing that and moving forward, let's see what he says. Knowing that and moving forward, that on a black t-shirt with dark. It's funny I said that. I just read that right now. That's too funny, Mark Bay. Do a proper bed level test to see true bed level. It's a single layer across all the bed, but if you're confident it's good, that's okay. Yeah, I've seen those tests where they put the strip in. I don't know, I'm on the fence with that. It's a lot of filament, a lot of like it's like kind of reminds me of the griddle Sunday pancake thing, but it can be done, and some people swear by it, and Mark Bay's done it, but I like this method better, because I just don't have to waste so much film and time. If you have the time, do that one, but send me the STL file for that. I wouldn't mind trying that and experimenting with it, just to see how it works. We also have the dummy 13 we printed, and a lot of other stuff. We have soldering videos. So on the soldering speedometer that we're going to be fixing on the exercise bike that belongs to my wife, we're going to be fixing it, and it's going to be a soldering video. So in that video, if you're watching it and you comment on it, you'll be eligible to win one of these soldering irons. It's going to be, this soldering iron is phenomenal. I use it for everything. I've used it to build the drones. I use it to build this game that one of our viewers/subscribers won. And I'm going to be using it to fix the most mundane soldering experience ever, which is the little clock thingy on the exercise bike, which became corroded. But as mundane as the video is, you will be eligible to win this. So if you're new to soldering, beginning soldering, or maybe you're a novice solderer and you know what this is, then and that's going to be in the contest on the next one, and then we'll have the drawing next week. So next Saturday there'll be a drawing for this, but we need the participants, and you'll know when you see that live stream happening. So we'll see the live stream for the solder, how to solder for beginners. That'll be that one. And we have these contests 2 or 3 times a year. So far we've had this will be our second contest, and then we have one more, and then that's it for the year. And then we usually do more in the fall. In the winter, as people are more inside, because it's going to be warming up, and we're going to be outside. We're going to be flying. We're going to be experimenting. We're going to be doing. I have to fix my snowblower. That's another story, but you'll see that. You can't make that stuff up. But now that I have the parts for it, I can fix it. And I'm not, how many people have that snowblower? A lot. So knowing that and moving forward, I thought I'd share that. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you, and you learned something, or you were entertained by it. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time. That's it. Video's over. Good seeing you, Mark Bay. Nice to have you again, and everyone else who's here that's watching. Don't worry, you can watch. You don't have to chime in, but it's nice to know that you're there in the shadows. All right, so this is it. That's the end of this stream. Now I feel like I can just walk around the block and detox, because that was it's a little nerve-wracking because you only get one take. That's it. And if even if you know what you're doing, sometimes things happen. Even if you know what you're doing, sometimes nothing goes as planned, and then you're just like, so much for that second take, because there is no second take if you screw this up. The bed leveling, as many takes as it takes to get it right. It's the other part when you take the extruder apart, when you're messing with the pieces, that hopefully you pray they go back in, because sometimes when stuff are burnt and charred like that, other pieces might start to fall off. And then thankfully I have the spare parts, but if I didn't, this would probably be a second part video. But either way, even if you don't have the parts, you're gonna have to get the parts, and you have to do your part, play your part to take the thing apart and put it back together, and pray that it works after putting it back together, because I was praying that it would work after I put it back together, because you never know what would happen. The bolts had to became loose, and over time stuff becomes loose on the 3D printer. Like with the car, I don't know, with the car, I hate to see my engine falling off on the side of the road, but I have been driving and I've seen people's tires fall off, but that's from lack of maintenance. But there you go, lack of maintenance causes things to become loose, and then next thing you know, you come back and your printer's in pieces. So check your stuff. I didn't check underneath it, but I trust that, because I remember when I put it together, it was put together so tight. Maybe another year I'll take it apart and see what's under there, because I'm pretty sure a lot of stuff from prints that turned into spaghetti might be inside of the chip like underneath where you have to take it apart. But we'll save that for another time, maybe when I do an overhaul on the machine, when I change all of the bearings. Those little roller thingies are replaceable. The question is, when do you replace them? But we'll save that for another video. Anyway, thank you for watching, and peace out, and we'll see you all next time. That's it. The show is over. So much for a 20-minute, but sometimes that happens. You know, sometimes things don't go as planned, but it turned out to the better. You know, it turned into more of an educational video. So I just need to stop the stream from here, and then I'll stop it from there. And then we'll go here, go to live, and then end stream. And this is where we say on 3, 2, 1, bye-bye.